All right, welcome back to DTR's YouTube channel. Always like to start off by saying thanks to everybody that's been tuning in, everybody that has subscribed and checked out all our videos. We really do appreciate it. So let's get on with the next video. So welcome back. We're here with our 68442 project. We've come a very long way with this project since the last video. Between the paint work and the assembly work, we've just been, hammering away at it, and I haven't had too many chances or saw too many good spots to show another video on the progress of the car. But now we've got so many different things started, finished together that we can take a look at all the things we've done in, I want to say, a kind of a short amount of time. There are two of us working on this car kind of simultaneously, where I'm doing the body and paint side of it. My partner does the assembly work and the mechanical installations and things like that. So between him and I, we're getting pretty far pretty fast. So let's take a look at some of the things we've done and check it out. All right, so let's take another quick look at this car. In the last video, the body was all in primer. The dash and such was just starting to go back together. A lot of these final processes were just being started, but now we've got a lot of these things buttoned up. A few little things are, missing, like the wiper switch that we just discovered doesn't work. That's why this duct is out, for changing that. It worked when the car came in, but put it back together and it's not cooperating. So it's just silly things like that that are always a little bit of a holdup. Same with our convertible top cylinders. We have the frame in, but we discovered some issues with the aftermarket cylinders, so we got another set coming. So back up here, we've got our AC components, all back from Classic Auto Air in Florida. They do a really nice job if you want your factory style air conditioning systems brought up to date to modern Freon, so you can get them charged. They do a really nice job. This system was in very good shape. Actually didn't get a new condenser. The condenser that was in the car was good. Had no issues. The whole system in this car was very good, which kind of goes along with the shape this car was in when it came. It was in real good shape, which I've said before. Got our brake system all done. That's all bled. We're driving this car actually before the car was even painted. We're finalizing some of this wiring. It looks a little bit messy right now, but we'll get all this finished. Finding spots for the fuel injection system was a little difficult. Having such a cluttered firewall between what's already there and then like this AC, you know, that was a bit of a challenge, but we got that all figured out. And that Holley Sniper fuel injection system we got all hooked up, and was a relatively easy installation. And having all the components for the system made it that much better. I mean, there's so many things that were done. Again, apologize as we got a lot of, you know, dumb things like this wire holding up the wheelhouse. It's just a little bit messy until we get everything kind of finalized. But there's a lot of little details that, you know, go into these restorations that, you know, minus making a list, I can't remember every single thing that was done, but there's a lot of moving parts to these jobs. But it all looks good and just like brand new again. Just had the windshield set back in, so that's moving forward. Obviously the paint work back here is all done. 6 coats of clear on this job. I'll be starting the buffing once I'm finished with this video. That's the next step for me. What do we got here? I mean, our dash is all back in. The radio was all rebuilt, and the name of the place is escaping me, but it has, you know, now it has the Bluetooth capability. Customer also went as far as getting this 8-track system added. We added that to the car. Redid all the factory duct work and got all that together. Here's our new vacuum lines. I spoke about that in the last video. We replaced all the vacuum lines with new lines. And again, we've already tested the system with the new lines before we go ahead and put the doors on. Just easier to work with everything when it's apart. Got the rear windows in, electric motors and regulators and such. Like I said before, got the convertible top frame all together. Started putting the gaskets on. Trunk, like in past videos, I showed the trunk splatter job. This trunk was a little pitted here and there, So I actually put a coat of chip guard, like almost like a rocker chip guard. I put that down first, and that gives more of an even texture and kind of buries some of those pits and imperfections. And just once you put the chip guard or the splatter over the chip guard, it just makes the job really turn out nice. I think it turned out really well, but that's just me talking. As I could say, I mean, this color is really nice. Hard to translate really in the camera work. Out in the sun, this car looks really good. The color just really comes out. Got our dash together. In the last video, I mentioned we were waiting for a turn signal switch, which was ordered and still hasn't come in, which is a big problem with these kind of jobs these days. Is, you know, you need parts and you order something and it just never shows up. And, you know, nobody really ever has any answers for that, which is very frustrating when you're trying to make progress. Gauges, these gauges were pulled out and they were sent to Redline Gauge and gone over, rebuilt, tested, which after we put them back in, made it a lot easier to troubleshoot any issues we had, that we knew at least the gauges work. So if something wasn't working on the gauges, it was something that we were doing wrong, which we did find a couple little things we forgot to do, and once we finalized it all, everything worked perfectly as it should have. And again, it makes the job just go that much better. So yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot. You know, looking at this, it might not look like a whole lot, but between rerunning all the vacuum lines and rewiring everything, and, you know, doing all that, the duct work and so on, and underneath the dash, it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time. But it's honestly only been a few weeks, and I'd say for what we got done, we got pretty far. But yeah, the car's coming along really well. As soon as, well, I shouldn't say as soon as I have it buffed, but we'll be putting the rear bumper on and the reverse lights and getting that part of it done. Got the tail lights all restored. I always take these plastic lenses. I mean, these were in nice shape to begin with, but I'll scuff them up and I'll re-clear coat them, and it makes them look like brand new, or they probably look better than brand new. It's just a good thing to do when you're trying to restore plastic. I obviously use a 2K or an activated clear as opposed to an aerosol clear, and it just makes a really good job. Brings a shine back in it. You do this with a modern car with modern car headlights. Some guys like to buff the headlights, where I'll bring in a set of headlights and scuff them down with 1000 grit and put clear coat on them, and they look like brand new and they hold up a lot longer. But anyway, I'm getting off topic here. But yeah, here we are, and come a good way. All right, here's another phase of the project we're at. These were original fenders from another car, but they had some molding holes and things that had to be closed up, and these were not originally on a car with these badgings, so I had to lay out my stripe first in pencil, and then made a template and drilled out my 442 badges. Now this has been always been a talking point on where the stripe goes. So a customer provided me with this paperwork from Oldsmobile with all our dimensions for the stripe. So once these are all painted and shown, I'm sure I'm still going to get somebody telling me that they're wrong, because there's always somebody out there that has to tell you what you've done wrong, but never seems to tell you what's right. So that's always comical in this business. A lot of experts out there, and it gets pretty old sometimes, but that's what they're in process, and should be painting these next week. We just got doors and the deck lid painted yesterday. These are painted, and we got 3 coats of clear on these. So today's Friday, and come Monday I'll come back in and I'll sand these nice and flat again with probably 800 grit, and then I'll drop 3 more coats of clear on these. So they're coming along, everything's coming along really well. So as always, thanks for checking out DTR's YouTube channel. We really do appreciate everybody that's been subscribing and checking us out. So stay tuned for the next video, and we'll see you there.